Yo, what is up, everybody? Chris here from Big Sports News Exportation. However the flip you know me in these interwebs, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys something a little bit different. So today I'm actually going to be going over one of the series from this weekend that we saw. Just an interesting map that I really want to break down and kind of look at from a more expanded view. So if you guys didn't know, I do highlights from the CDL. So that's what you're seeing here. These are all CDL highlights. This is actually a recap of Major 2 Week 2 qualifiers, and this is a preview of Week 3. So yeah, I've been uploading every day for quite a while, as you guys can see. But let's get into the actual content that I want to take a look at, which is the Gentlemates versus Carolina Royal Ravens series. So let's start in the map 4. This is where the series ended. But just to set the stage a little bit and bound the context of what we're about to be looking at, I just wanted to talk about the fact that sometimes in Call of Duty you can get massively outslayed. Like you can see that the Gentlemates got outslayed by 33 kills and they still won the series, right? In the map 1, of course, it was even in the slays, 109 and 109 for each team. But in the map 4, you guys can see that there was a huge differential here. You can see that it's a 32 kill differential, 0.26 difference in Team KD. The Royal Ravens had a 1.26 Team KD, but they lost this game. Largely that stat is skewed because Nero was plus 20, right? So in the plus 32, he accounted for quite literally 60% of that jump, right? So yeah, that's quite or around 60%. But yeah, so let's look at the actual map itself. Let's see how things went down, and let's look at the little things that we can really dissect and kind of learn from, right? So looking at this P1, we'll skip this because it's P1. You hold P2 spawns, as you guys can see. They're holding the P2 spawns pretty well. So let's see how this turns out for them, right? See how this turns out. So rotate to P2, right? They're holding P2 pretty well. Sniff out Ghosty in the back. But the mates, if you notice, they do break. So let's see how they break, right? So 5's pushing the hill. You see 2's there. 5 takes out 2. They just break it through the front. And then they're still spawning around statue P1 side, right, as you can see here.
Doesn't seem like the greatest call. 30-point advantage early for Ravens. Putting up, setting up. But this is
I guess they didn't break it. They got in the hill for a second, but they didn't break it. Okay. So P3, they get set up for P3, right? They get the initial setup, but then Nero's pushing through the back. Ghosty reads him. Mates have the setup for P3. They hold most of this P3 time. But then Carolina, they break through underground at P1, right? Coming through statue side. As you can see, 3 and 4 push through. They ape it. So they break it. Honestly, the problem with that setup for the mates, as you guys can see, right? Let's look back at it briefly. So you see Sib and, of course, Nepa right there. I mean, honestly, Crazy makes a big play. They didn't even play that setup badly. That's like pretty typical setup. It was just a great break from the Ravens. So let's see. So the P4, the mates got, I guess, a little bit of time. Then they're able to hold this from the back, I would guess, right? Yeah, they got spawns in the back. They're able to hold it. As you can hear Maven saying they got the flip. So they flipped the spawns going into P1. Made it a little bit more advantageous for themselves trying to get the P2 set up. And as you guys can see, Sib was 8 and 16 and Neptune was 9 and 12. So as Maven just pointed out, they were quite negative in this series at this point. Craze is on 15. We're just entering the second rotation of Hills. He's on 17. Don't even have 100 seconds of time for either side yet, you know? Blazing game for him. So the mates, they hold P1 pretty decently. And then it looks like Ravens have a decent enough setup for P2 to try to get rotation, but the mates were able to really break that open. So let's see how they're able to break it open at the end of this P1. So the Ravens clearly have the spawns here, right? 4 needs to stay alive. 4 gets killed. That's 3 dead. They can push through to P2, start pressuring the spawns here, start pressuring it. As you can see, the Ravens spawn in the back still. And if they clear out the spawns one more time, pressure these spawns a little bit more, where Sib fights Exceed, Ghosty fights Craze and Lurks most likely, or Neptune, one of the two. If they get these cutoffs in the spawns, you would have to figure are probably going to push out probably around the P3 or even to P4. So they started spawning, as you guys can see, around P4-ish. So around here, like I thought.
Just not find the right kills.
Well, I mean, if they do,
and then the mates, they ended up getting the P2 spawns. So I guess things went as expected with them getting those big kills there. But then Ravens were able to get the big kills and flip the spawns themselves. As you guys can see, the mates started spawning really at the initial spawn, close to P4. So
actually get the map victory.
Great break from the Ravens. You know, I mean, COD is not really that difficult to understand at the high levels, right? Like, you can understand that, hey, if you're spawning here, you want to get close spawns, run to the hill as fast as possible, have the best chance to break, contest, and defend, right? And then you just want to get back in the fight quicker, right? But logically, if we are pushing you so far back from where you are, the game is saying you should be sent somewhere else because you're not defending this adequately, and you should be on the back foot while the other guys get the advantageous spawns. It's pretty simple, but if you're new, hopefully that helps you understand.
Leading the way right now for the squad. I mean, honestly, Slang looks really solid all around for him. It's just starting to capitalize on some of these moments. The fact is they're still finding the kills. That starts to add up. It does. Like, you can survive getting on Slate, but like, you can't survive the whole map like that.
No, it's gonna start getting a little bit cleaner when that happens, just like this P2 did. We'll see if they get another chance at the P4, but for now they're gonna have to break through tunnel, and Nero is on 5-0, having one of those maps that every now and then you see from him, 25 and 12.
So as you guys can see, the mates are really good at setting up for P3. They always get really good setups at P3. As you can see, they're very smart about where they abandon P2. They start getting that setup for P3. You can see someone's in P1 looking over here towards P4 side. I guess that's Ghosty. So, yeah, I mean, I like their setups at P3, honestly. This is where mates get a lot of time on these Colossus maps because their setups here, as you can see, you know, you got number 7 Sib here at the S&D bomb. I believe that's the B site. And then, of course, you have Neptune right there just holding the point. You have Envoy usually patrolling underground. Then you have Ghosty somewhere around here usually. And I just like the setup. Ghosty's usually about here or here if they're getting pushed back a little bit. Sib usually stays backline watching the flank, etc. Neptune usually gets time, and Envoy usually patrols and sets up for, you know, next spawns, etc.
They had P4 side, so they're going to go at this one more time. Now they have to be careful.
But the thing I like about mates, like you see what happened there, right? Like Sib, he moved up and he positioned himself in the hill, but also he's still anchoring spawns, which is why 6 Neptune spawned here, right? Which is why I love the way that mates play. They just play the right way, and they understand how COD works in a more fluid sense. They don't just, oh, I have to anchor, let me just sit here like Iron Boots. No, like Sib will really get in the play and make the play he needs to, and I love that about this team.
So this is going to be a massive moment in the game, another P4 where it looks
sometimes as the AR you got to push up, you know, and you got to really get in that hill, get active, get some time, get some kills, put some pressure on them, push them back a little bit. It's not all about just staying stationary and letting them run at you in a line, you know. Being that back line means sometimes you got to move up. The line sometimes moves. So looking at how they hold this P4, right?
Well, that's why they're the best hardpoint team in the world.
Neptune, I thought just perfectly.
Ravens, this is just pure gunny.
But yeah, still, I mean,
pure gunny. A lot of times this P4 just comes down to who wins the gun engagements and who has a better setup, but setups kind of don't matter at this P4. Like, if you can really just gun the other guys efficiently, you'll either hold the hill or you'll take it, right? It's usually a pretty straightforward hill.
Wait, yeah, so what is it now?
The setups do matter, though. They do matter. They absolutely matter, but it's definitely a pretty breakable hill.
And the scoreline hasn't really changed all that
So as you guys can
much.
see, Carolina obviously got the P1, got the initial P1 setup. They got the majority of the P1 time. And they have the setup for P2, so it's forcing the mates to make a really long route, pushing through P3, underground. Neptune gets a big kill, or Ghosty does rather. They push through, they get P2. They get the setup initially, and they're pushing through to try to get the spawns so they can hold most of this time. They get the spawns, start holding the time. Let's see if anyone spawns close for Carolina. No, they're going to spawn out, right? Yeah, they spawned out. Okay. So yeah, that's how you secure P2 typically. And that's how the mates were able to start this comeback.
Streak is in. They all die, so that leads to nothing. I don't know about for both these teams.
So
They all die, so that leads to nothing. I don't know about for both these teams.
they take the majority of that time, and then they get the majority of the start of this P3, right? They chain that. You can see how important it was for them to get spawns, how important it was for them to set up that initial, right? And then they chained it into really efficient time. They obviously got the majority of that P2 time, as you could see in the score line up here, right? And then that was chained into a really, really dominant scoreline that they held going into this P3, as you can see. Envoy comes through underground with Sib. Lurks gets the cutoff kill. Neptune, of course, evens it up, but we push to a P4 where we'll most likely close it out, but the Ravens have better pressure on it. Mates obviously were able to break it, as you guys can see, with no effort, based on the fact it was 219, right? I skipped ahead in the highlights because it wasn't really that fun, but yeah, as you can see, 8's in the hill. He's playing solo right now, but 7 is trying to push up. 2 got a weird spawn. He has to push through P1, so he could make a play on the guy at statue, which is Neptune, if he gets good timing. So let's see if Nero makes a play. He does, but let's see if 8 reacts. 3 could make a play on 8 on the flank, so let's see what happens with that. And 1 and 5, this is a very crucial gunfight. If Exceed wins this gunfight against Envoy, it means that the mates won't be able to close it out right just here yet. So Exceed gets the kill on Envoy. Number 3, which is Craze, he should get the kill on number 8, which is Ghosty, right? Okay, Nero gets the kill on Ghosty. Nero gets an insane 2-piece. And then, yeah, Sib was neg 18 in this map, and they still won. So, you go back to a P1. Ravens have the initial setup.
Here we go. Can Ravens lock this down?
If Paris win this, they're gonna like literally win 2 hardpoints, and Sib's gonna be like -40 combined. Ravens look to close it out. Every kill, a massive one. Nobody in the point for now.
And this is to force the game 5, obviously, right? So, stakes could not be higher. Ghosty gets a big one. So if you're looking at the minimap, there's not really a lot to surmise here. Typically with P1, both teams spawn pretty close. You typically spawn around here on this side, around here on this side. So let's look back and see, like let's watch. So as it starts up, you spawn really like P3 side if you're mates. You get the far spawns, far out spawns. Meanwhile, yeah, Ravens are getting like proximal P2 spawns, which is kind of weird. They're getting really close spawns, but the mates were spawning in Narnia. So Neptune goes crazy. He calls game, and that's how they close it out. Honestly, this game was just a masterclass in how important it is when you are a top tier team to make sure that you're doing the little things right? Like we saw a lot of what was happening on the minimap was just better setups out of the Paris Gentlemates. Consequently, they were able to break the setups of the Royal Ravens because Gentlemates, they honestly just have better positioning. They know how they want to play, and they play their breaks as a team better than really anyone else in Black Ops 7 right now. So yeah, that's why I wanted to look at that map and explain to you guys how Nero was able to drop 48 kills, and somehow they were able to take a big fat L with a 32 kill differential. So yeah, guys, I'll also wrap it up for me today. Sorry if this video wasn't the best explanation of all time. I'm trying to get better about helping to explain to the casual audience, making a bridge between comp and casual, and just explaining to you guys how some of these CDL moments go down, the moments that like lead to these big, I guess, events where you see Neptune get a 1v2, 1v3, 1v4. Like, how does that happen? So just trying to break it down, make it make more sense for you guys. You know, these moments are really cool to see in real time, but sometimes you got to take a step back, slow it down, and say, how did this happen in totality? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just trying something a little bit different on the channel. Hope you have a great morning, noon, or night, like I always say, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Once again, this is Chris from Fake Sports News, Access Rotation, however the flip you know these interwebs. And I'll see you guys on the next one, which tomorrow I think will be maybe another breakdown. Maybe I'll break down the Miami versus Optic S&D. I really love that one. So yeah, catch you guys on the next one. Hope you have a great morning, noon, or night, like I said before. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share it with someone who you think might enjoy this. And yeah, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.